So, what does it really mean for a child to be ready for school? We tend to think it's all about knowing their alphabet or counting to 10, right? Well, we're about to see that true readiness goes so much deeper than that.
We all kind of have this idea that age 6 is this magic number, the official starting line for formal education. But what if the calendar is actually the least important thing we should be looking at? Turns out, a child's readiness is way more complex than just their birthday.
Exactly. Because real readiness isn't some academic checklist you can just tick off. It's this holistic state where a child's mind, their emotions, and their physical health are all working together, in sync. It's the huge difference between being ready to be taught something and being truly ready to learn.
So, let's break this down. First, we'll dive into cognitive and behavioral readiness. Then, we're going to explore social and emotional development. After that, we'll cover the very foundation of it all, physical health and well-being. And then, we'll tie it all together.
All right, first up, the thinking brain. This is the part of readiness we all tend to zero in on. But believe me, there's a lot more going on under the hood than you might think.
And here's a really crucial distinction we need to make. A child's age in years, what we call their chronological age, often doesn't line up perfectly with their mental age, which is all about where they are in their cognitive development. That gap, whether it's big or small, can be a total game changer for how they experience the classroom.
For instance, just picture a science class. Some new research shows that a child's mental age is a direct predictor of whether they can grasp abstract ideas, like, say, the water cycle. If their brain simply isn't wired for that kind of thinking yet, it doesn't matter how great the teacher is, that lesson just isn't going to stick.
And it's not just about raw brain power, it's about behavior. Can a child control their impulses? Can they actually stay focused on a task? Other research highlights that these skills are profoundly shaped at home. In fact, it shows that a parent's own attitude towards learning can directly boost a child's motivation and their attention span. That's huge.
Okay, so let's shift gears from the thinking brain to the feeling heart. A child's social and emotional world is every single bit as critical for their success in school.
Just think about it for a second. School is one of the first places a kid has to navigate a really complex social world pretty much on their own. Learning to share, to listen, to manage big feelings like frustration, these aren't just soft skills. They are absolutely essential skills for any real learning to happen.
So how do kids get good at this stuff? Well, it's not through flashcards, that's for sure. It's through play. Play is literally the work of childhood. It's the lab where they get to practice cooperation, communication, and empathy, building that social foundation they desperately need for the classroom.
And look, this doesn't happen in a vacuum. The research is crystal clear on this. A supportive family and a strong partnership between the school and parents are two of the most powerful predictors of whether a child is going to thrive, both socially and academically.
Okay, so we've covered the mind and the heart. Now let's talk about the active body, the physical foundation that all of this other learning is actually built on.
Here's the tough reality. A lot of kids start school with their own bodies already working against them. Things like poor nutrition, not getting enough movement, even recurring infections. All of these can completely drain their energy and make it almost impossible to focus, let alone learn anything. And get this, according to one study, the single most undeveloped healthy habit among young kids is physical activity. Just let that sink in. The one thing that's absolutely vital for a healthy body and a focused brain is the very thing we're letting slip the most. That's a massive gap we need to address.
So what do we do about it? Well, it has to be a team effort. It means schools and parents working together on teaching healthy eating. It means using health screenings to catch things like poor vision before they become learning problems. And it absolutely means making recess and active play a non-negotiable priority every single day.
So, we've explored the mind, the heart, and the body. Let's bring all these puzzle pieces together now and see what the complete picture really looks like.
When you look at it this way, it just clicks, right? School readiness isn't one single pillar. It's three. It's like a three-legged stool. Cognitive skills are critical, absolutely, but they're held up by social-emotional maturity and physical health. You take one of those legs away, and the whole thing gets wobbly.
So, here's the bottom line, the main takeaway from all of this. We have to shift our thinking. We need to move away from this narrow academic checklist and start embracing a much broader, more holistic view that supports the development of the whole child.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to chew on. Instead of constantly asking if our kids are ready for school, maybe we should be asking if our schools are ready for our kids.